So here's a workbook. I built it in Canva during my super long training because I was building it as we went. And so you saw what it looks like here. And so that's here. I'm going to show you what it is that. So one of the things that I do, okay, when I'm making a workbook, I look at all the things that they have available. So like for instance, you can go to find a template, which is actually a nice way to do it. But you know, they have ebook and you have the paid one, Tori. So you have everything that I'm seeing. I will tell you, it does look like 2.0 is easier to use. It's just I'm a little reluctant to go over there right now, even though you can flip back to 1.0 if you want to. But they have ebook, they have magazine cover, they have A4 documents. I've used yearbook as well. I've used book cover as well. And I've used, that's it. I've typically used those types of things. The one, when I created this, the workbook that I created, I used the ebook covers. So I'm going to show you the one that I used. I hope I will show you the one that I used. I'm just going to make a blank page right now. Okay, so you see what it looks like here. And now I'm going to show you what I used. I like to use their templates and break them, basically. I use this one. All right, so watch that.
That's the coolest.
Okay, so I'm doing a training real quick. What is it? Okay. So as you see, this was the original. This is what I ended up doing. I'm a strange person. I'm not a starter, but I'm a finisher. So that's why I use the templates, because they are starters. People have started them for me. And then I get to break them and do what I want to do with them. Okay. Hey, Latoya. And so, like I said, this was the original. I kind of didn't like it. It was too plain, but I like the paint streak. And so I obviously don't need the roller, so I just got rid of it. And then I was like, this is way too plain right now. And then as I was thinking, I'm like, we're going to build something, so let's go with tools. So then I went and I found tools. And Donald Trump didn't show up. Okay. So, sorry, that was a tasteless joke. But anyway, you're a great starter. Oh my gosh. You and I need to tag team on something. Hey, Toya. Latoya. All right. So, like I said, I like tools. And so I went with my branded colors, because my brand colors are this purple, this, and what Tori was saying was about, like, excuse me, being able to save your brand colors. And they do. So this palette right here is my brand colors saved. These first 5, this one, I just like this purple and I stuck it somewhere. All right. Now, all these colors here that you're going to see are all the colors that are showing up in this one document. And so you'll see most of those colors were right here. So I wanted tools. I went and grabbed some tools and I played with it. I played with what it looked like. And then the tools were still too plain, but because I had one paint streak, I wanted another paint streak. So then I think I did the word streak. Sometimes you have to play with words to get what you want. This was not it. Maybe it was splatter. Maybe it was paint. I don't know. I just play with the words. I think it was paint. And then I make it free. So I do the free only. Okay. Yeah, and I just thought about something. I could have made this really easy on myself and just took a copy of this, turned it vertical, and still got the same response. Because what I used was this right here. I used this pink streak, and then I made it huge and just kept playing with the size until I got what I wanted. You know what I mean? And so that is how I got my cover. And that's how I did that. So that's what I took. I used that particular template. So let me get rid of that. And then I did my copyright page, and I said, let's go ahead and stick with the black and white because I kind of like that part. And so I did the black and white. And then I said, don't steal my stuff. And one thing that you want to make sure that you do, Tori, when you're making your book is make sure that you put your copyright and then alternate it with your website. I'm going to show you that in just a second. And so basically we're using this workbook because I'm walking through making a workbook. So there are 3 things that you need to be aware of what you want at a time. And that is your brand. You already have it, your brand colors, your brand tools, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to get to that. The content you're going to put into that. And then the most important part of this whole document. All right. So steps at a glance are going to be those 3 things. I break them down into 2 more steps in each one of these. This is actually just, I think it's 12 pages of a document. And so branding, and you already talked about having it. And if you don't, make sure that if you have the paid account, you find your fonts and you save them as your brand so that whenever you go to do text, let me make a copy of this page. Whenever you go to do text, these were my branded text, but I'm going to change them because I love Lemon Tuesday a lot. So I no longer like whatever that was because Canva, guys, Canva added so many new, this is Lemon Tuesday, which is on my workbook. Canva added so, look at this. This is not what it was when I first started. So many different fonts. Like, look at that. I'm still going. I'm just an L. So Canva has a lot of fonts. And if they have a font that you really like that's not on here, you can even add it under the paid account. So Canva has, I'm still scrolling, guys. I'm just an S. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've added a lot of fonts. So you want to find the fonts that work for you. And typically the font, and then we get into a whole nother language. Canva is showing out, y'all. And then, like I said, you can upload your own fonts if it just happens to not be there. All right. So, yeah. So you guys know as brands, for the typical rule for a brand is to have a script and a print. And so you guys know for basic stuff is that, you know, hold on, I'm on a different page. Script, blah, 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 blah. Where are my pages? There we go. All right. So script is going to be perfect for your headings, right? So if you notice, my heading is in my Lemon Tuesday. So script is perfect for headings. It gives a nice pop of personality. Like, I love it. But you also, here's the key part though. And when you're working in Canva, what you want to do is hit the document as large as it would be, so up to 100%, so that you can see how it will show up in a workbook, right? Because Canva sets you out working automatically at like 17 or 30%, so it might look bad. So you want to, you know, enlarge it for yourself. So you're going to choose a script that you want, and then keep your script where you have it. So you can either save it as part of your branding or just write it in this workbook. If you want this workbook, guys, I will give you the bit.ly so that you can download it for yourself and fill it out. As soon as I look up the bit.ly. And so, what was I saying? Yeah, so you're going to use the scripts for the headings and stuff. The other thing that you want to make sure is that you don't use it a lot and that it stays on brand with your thing so that when people look at it, they can recognize it as you. But you also want to make sure, and this is where I had to ditch one of those scripts, is that the script, what script was this? Is this Over the Rainbow? No, this is Euphoria. That was my first one that I was using. When it's capital, it's not cute. Like, some things I like to do all caps, and that script is not cute all caps. So test that for yourself. And then you have the regular writing. I liked it in the regular writing, but in all caps I didn't. So definitely test your script to see if it's good in all caps, and then find a print that plays well with your script. Okay. And so you use your print obviously for this kind of stuff. And then So let me talk to Tori about building these things. Let's back up. All right. So Tori, real quick. So as I was building this, I actually went and stole this. I'm going to show you where I stole it from. Because this is a secret. And it's not even a secret. It's a secret, though, because nobody told me. So if you notice, some of these have a dog ear and some of these don't. So like this one doesn't. Sorry, I'm a little frozen. This one doesn't. These don't. 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 This doesn't. There. That one does. Okay. So let's take a look at it. And if it has a dog ear, that means it has additional pages. So you can go and steal any pages that look like something that you can actually use. I didn't like it because I felt like, I didn't like this one because I felt like this was supposed to be more of a creative type of thing. So these things look really boring to me. So I didn't go with this one. But let me see. Like I'm literally just looking for the dog ear. I went with this one. Huh, good. Okay. So if you notice, there it is. Bam. Right? And so I thought it was a cool way to do an index or a table of contents. So I went and used this one as table of content. Simple, right? And then I went ahead and branded it. So there's my Lemon Tuesday right there. And then this should be my Open Sans because I just like how clean and round those letters are. So Lemon Tuesday and Open Sans are my font. And then I Lemon Tuesday the numbers. And then there you go. So I just stole their table of contents page. And I didn't want to call it table of contents. I called it steps at a glance so that you can see ahead of time what your steps are going to be. All right. And so this one, I think this is the same one. Yep. Bam. Stole it. You got to steal like an artist, Tori. Come on, man. You're an artist. Steal. Spiritual artist. Okay. So I stole it. And then I flipped it where the color was the circle and not the page, you know. And then I Lemon Tuesday, you know, I branded everything from the font to the color. And remember, I was using tools on my page, so I had to make sure that the tools showed up again. So brand mode, hammer, like we're about to hammer it out, get it? And so when you're doing your document, another trick while you're making the document is to, hold on, let me get rid of these extra pages. When you're doing the document, so now that I'm into the work part, you might want to consider, because again, we don't want to be boring because we're not boring people. So we're going to splash things and make it our way. Is I put these borders around them because in the border, as I told you earlier, you're going to want to pop in your, I hate when you big it up real big. You're going to want to pop in your information. So your copyright and then your company on one page, right? And then this is good for header. So it helps visually separate things. So I give it a header and it lets everything pop and stand out better, right? And then when you want people to write, there are a couple of tricks to this. Okay, so when you want people to write, you can create the lines for them. And a simple trick for creating the lines is just holding down the shift and the dash button, right? So say I want them to have more than these 3 lines, then shift and then dash. And then it just keeps going. Just keep going, going, going. Until you go. Okay. Obviously, they don't need all that to write down what their script font is. Okay. But so that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to go and create, like say you're going to do a fillable workbook, go and create the fillable situation, basically. So you grab where did you go? Okay, so the square is huge, or maybe it's not. Maybe the page is just huge looking. I lost the square. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where did the square go? Okay, there it is. So go grab you, and you see that's branded too, right? So go grab your thing, a square. You're gonna want to use some kind of neutral tone usually. Something that's gonna stand out on, hey Tanya, something that's gonna stand out on against the whatever your background is. And then you're going to make it as light as it possibly can go and still be visible. Boom. There it is. That is your writing box, right? And you can have lines or you can not, right? So obviously, because I have other color boxes on here, I'm going to want it to be distinguished. But if you had different types of workbooks, then you can have a color box. And then you can go to like PDF Escape or something and then make it fillable. I am a big believer of writing, so I don't make my things fillable. Okay. Thanks, Tanya. All right. And so after you do that part, so give it a header and a footer. I'm a big encourager of not just making workbooks that people just read because that's so boring. I think the value is really in them doing the work themselves instead of just reading. And so I'm a big proponent of giving them work to do. So give them work to do. So like I can tell you to go find a script and leave it at that, but I want you to write it down because I want you to work and feel like you're getting something out of my book. You know, it's a personal thing for me, but it's how I teach my people, is give people work to do so that they can own what they've learned. You know what I mean? I think that's the teaching thing in me from, 12 years in the classroom, but that's basically it. All right. So that's one part of the aesthetic. The other part of the aesthetic is, again, making sure that your brand colors are good. Some people use some clashy colors, like it's terrible. So if you take yourself back to elementary school, then you're looking at the basic elements of art, which is complementary colors. This is a color wheel right here. And so these colors play well with each other, right? If I had a certain type of pink, it'll work really well with a certain type of green. Now mine is a purple with a bluish. And so I get to bend it a little bit just because purple is red and blue, and then blue is already blue. And then the reddish is kind of across from the bluish. So for some reason, those two colors work well in everything that I've seen teal and purple on. So make sure you choose stuff that really, really complement each other. You don't want them to clash. You want them to play well on the color wheel. Like green and yellow, I've seen it. It doesn't pop. It's not usually awesome. Exactly. If it's step by step, make them work. But don't overburden the pages. Like if you think about it, the way that I did this is there's one thing I want you to walk away with on each page. So first page, choose your font. Second page, choose your colors. So each page is a micro win. And I'm actually gonna get to that when I get into the content. So hold on. So check your branding colors and all that kind of stuff. And then also remember that black and white aren't really colors. So use them, like you can still use them. Okay. Play with your light and dark. Oh my God, fonts, please. I know, Tori, you're not gonna have a problem with this because you have a great aesthetic eye, but oh my God, like sometimes you'll see like yellow on a green background. Like seriously, people, it doesn't work. Okay, so you want a light font against a dark background. This is science. It's proven that light font actually is better than doing a dark font. I don't know how we got into making black the font color and white the background color, I guess to save ink, but that's actually pretty harsh on the eyes. It should be the other way around. It just works better. Like our eyes don't do as much work. Okay, so getting into content, because that's where we're talking about. I'm a big believer of keeping it simple. And so, like I said, each page should be a thing, not a whole lot of things, okay? And so one of the things is to choose the topic for this one. So choose an umbrella topic for your whole book, and then break it down into the subtopics. So to show you how that is, what I mean is my whole topic is build a workbook in Canva. My subtopics are these: the brand mode, the choose content, the edit and publish, and then under each of those is going to be an action step I want you to take, right? And so that's exactly what's happening. Action step, choose your topics. How do you know it's action step? I made you do action, okay? And so I wanted to keep them simple because if you overwhelm people, they don't finish, you don't look like an amazing teacher, you're just overwhelming, etc. And so break it down, 2 to 3 subtopics, 2 to 3 action steps under each subtopic. That way they feel like they won when they've completed it. Also, your action steps should not be labor intensive. They should not be something that make people want to give up. It should stretch them, but it should not make them want to give up. Oh, and so, Tori, what I wanted you to notice is, like, on one page, I gave who I am, and on the other page, I gave find me. And one of the reasons I think that's important to put your website is because I've seen people's freemiums, and if they put their website, I actually go to their website. I actually go and check it out. And then with Canva, you can make that website clickable. So, like, for instance, I'm on my name and stuff. Okay, so I'm on my website, and you just click, the links, and then put the link. And whenever they get your workbook, they can just click that link and go to it. Okay, so that's what I mean by the content, and is that you want to keep it where it is winnable each page. Each page they win, especially when you're talking about a step-by-step process that you have and that you're leading them towards finding their own answers. Make each page a win page. That way they're ready to do the next one. They're ready to tackle the next one. And then obviously your page should have graphics, because like we looked at the other ones here, these are actually really boring. Now, the way that you would use really boring is if you're doing something all techy and whatnot and all that kind of stuff. But I like to make my things pop, And so I went and did my search, and I found a Post-it note, and I looked for something that was brandable. So when I choose their graphics, hold on, yeah, not lengthy at all. Because if I gave instructions, if you notice, I'm going to show you another workbook in just a second. I gave instructions, and I try to keep it, it's white space. People like to see white space on pages so that they're not overwhelmed. And so let's go to that real quick while we're talking about it. Let's look at my designs workbook. What book is this? Okay, so let's look at this one. This is a workbook that I just went over. This is just one page. Well, it gives an example. So I just went over this in my my live group, and so I was talking about finding a way to do a live. And so that's their direction, is each one of these is a different direction. And so they find those. And then I keep pointing them back to my group or what have you. Let me find another one. Because I get what you're saying. I don't like to use too many words, because people get lost in the words. Let's look at that one. Okay, that page actually came out of this workbook, so we're going to look at this workbook real quick. Now, this one is my freemium that's on my website. Hold on, let me see how many pages. This is a short one. Okay, so I gave them reading stuff. I want to use the other one. I want to delete this one because it keeps tricking me. Because I don't want this one. This one's really short. You definitely don't want to go lengthy box of text. You can, what is this for, Tori? And then I can answer that question. So, like, for example, with this one, I'm actually creating video to send along with it. So, for instance, it'll be five-day drop-in email, and then a video each day as part of that email, as well as a page. Yeah, you want, okay, you're going to want to do video anyway because of the no like trust factor. Video cuts down the amount of time needed from no like trust because they get to hear your voice, they get to see your spirit, they get to feel your energy better than they would if they had to read on their own. Did you do a video for each day, or how does the video go? Okay, so while I'm waiting for you to answer that, this is day one. I give them some text and to, wait, you said yep. I don't know which one was it because I gave you both. Did you do a video for each day, or is it like a video, one video overall for the whole thing? Oh, okay. Then I wouldn't make the instructions lengthy in the workbook. I know you say you already did that, the videos for it. But think about it. Do the instructions have to be lengthy? If they do, then consider how you can break them up and make them chewable. Yeah, I'm lagging in the comments, so I don't. And it's really interesting because I have my phone here too to see the comments, so I'm definitely lagging.
I finish on my food and then I want more.
Oh wow, okay. And so, like I said, I have the introduction to what they have to do, and then I have what they have to do. And I'm keeping what they have to do pretty short, but clear and succinct, right? And then again, instructions. What do I mean by this particular part for your challenge? And then the instructions are here, and then I break them into something chewable, right? Let's take a look at that one because I feel like that one has the more instructions to it. Okay, so for instance, like here, this one I'm talking about sales funnels basically being like matchmaking. And so I give explanation into it, and then each one of the boxes are kind of instruction, so to speak. So marketing matchmaker principle number 1, like attracts like. And then here, describe the person you will help with your story. And then here, how are you like that person? Principle 2, give people what they want, not what they think, not what you think they need. So here, what is it that this person is trying to get? And then 2, how did your story help them achieve that? And so it's back and forth. I could have made that very wordy, but I'm trying to keep them chewable and doable and winnable because they have to have wins. Otherwise they give up. Okay. Like I've been in several cases where several courses or several challenges where it's just like overload and I quit. So I'm trying to make it where it's not something that people feel like they must quit. Okay. And so, and that's just like how that particular, because this is a 5-day challenge, since you brought that up, this is a 5-day challenge that I have as well. That is there on my website, a self-guided thing. The other one, let me see. The other one, what they're actually doing right now in my Power Story Week, I can show you real fast. Power Story Week. No problem, sweetie. You've helped me. I've collected so much knowledge over the last 3 years. Honey, I got to do something with it. I'm just sharing. But if you have other specific questions, please ask them so that I can make sure that I cover it. Okay, so I'm actually about to rebrand my workbook since I'm doing the launch for my course in October. Well, right now they're doing the first week as a preview, but I'm about to launch my book in October. And you probably saw this because I had it in the beta program. So again, you know, I'm not big on being wordy in emails, so I actually can't help people with emails. I don't know. I don't know. So like all my words are in my workbook, and then I'll do the video to explain better. Like I love video. Sorry, I now open like another 5 tabs thanks to you guys. Let me see what I can close. Okay, I can close this. Mackie's getting mad at me. She's like, if you open another damn tab, that's it. I think I can close this, but actually, no, I think I can't, because I think that's what we're working in. Oh, no, that's a video. Girl, I soaked up so much knowledge. It's time to squeeze this sponge dry. I swear, I just soak it all up. Okay, so I love this picture now. Like, this is just going to be my thing. Capture your memories. All right. Let me see you working in the gym. Okay. So there it is. Okay. Did it open? Okay. So I don't know if you remember this. Shh. Okay. I don't know if you remember this, Tori, from being in the beta. But remember, this was day 1. So I explained the importance of story. But at the same time, I knew people weren't going to necessarily read all the words. So that's why I showed up each day to explain it. And so that's what they're doing right now is they get a video and they get day 1, right? And so I make the box look all nice and cute. Like the workbook looks cute. And I give better definitions. Like this should be in your email, by the way, if you just want to take a look at it, because I believe I emailed this one to you guys. So I give all the words above, but I figure people wouldn't necessarily read it. Some people read it. Some people like reading, so they do read. So basically, you're doing it for the different people. So you're doing it for the people who are visual. So that's why I have it designed this way, all visually. Then you do it for the people who like to read. So they got the words in the beginning to know why it's important, because everybody has to know why. You always have to give them why they're doing something. So the why was in the first day. And then I do the video where I show up and walk them through each one. So that covers the visual, the kinesthetic, the auditory, and not digital, but I guess, you know, it covers three of the major learners. They get to hear me, they get to see me, they get to work on their own. And so what that does is when you hear somebody talk, you immediately show up as an expert because they can hear the authenticity, the excitement, the passion in your voice. So that cuts that no like trust factor time in like half, like right off the bat. Then when you show up another day and you giving it the same, that cuts it down. Like the shelf time of having to get to the no like trust is reduced every time they hear your voice. So it's good that you're showing up every day as a video. And that also leads them into completion a little bit better. Maybe even showing up afterwards, because like I said, I have the video, I have the workbook. I'm actually testing with them to see if I need to show up in the group as a live one-on-one. Actually, I'm going to do that. I think that sounds good. So I'm going to do that this week. I'm going to set a time for them to join me live inside of the workbook group. I mean the sneak peekers group. So that is that part. And then so with choosing content, so like we said, keep it all simple, keep it actionable, keep it bite-sized, and then definitely for the build and edit part, I just realized again I did not. So this is really going to make it funny for me to say this. Hold on. Oh, my very, very first workbook, I didn't have anybody teaching me how to do it, one. So that I couldn't cut down my learning curve at all. Like, I just came and played. And then when I started seeing the workbooks that people gave me, a lot of them were boring. I wish they popped more. I'll show you my first workbook, and then you'll see. I just started playing with what I like. Now, I'm going to tell you, when I did build, when I built this, I was doing it live at the same time. So it took me 2 hours, but because I was talking to people and I was stopping and I was answering questions and what have you, it doesn't take that long anymore. And that is why if you do it this way and you kind of plan your way, then you set yourself up better. I closed it, didn't I? Oh, I didn't. Okay, because I keep forgetting to change this last part from edit to publish to build and edit, because everything else is supposed to be pre construction. So in this part, here is what you want to do. So you want to go and choose those templates. That's why I showed you different templates. Play with them. And yeah, that's the thing with Canva, is you do have to play. You have to play to learn it. And don't get frustrated. Exactly. So with them being plain, I'm going to show you how I did this. I'll show you how I did this page, just so that you can see. If you notice, the only things I took from the template, the only pages I took from other people's templates were this page, and then I built it the way that I wanted to, and then this page and that page. So those 3 pages are the only pages that are template pages. The rest of them I did myself. Okay, and so what I did though is you want to be consistent throughout. So I looked through all their templates, and I chose different things. Now I will tell you, you get different types of templates depending on the type of they're called templates too. So like they have ebook covers, book covers, A4 documents, and worksheets. So each one of those looks different. Let's actually take a look at a different one real quick, and then we'll get into that. So the one that we were looking at was ebook. So let's look at magazine, because I think that might give you more what you might be looking for. I love you like a little song, baby. You might find more fun over here, Tori, because if you notice, this is like based off a magazine. So it might be more fun for you over here. The same thing applies. Look for the dog ears. And you don't have to get stuck on one of these templates, right? And then even if they say money, you might still be able to take it because it might be just a picture. Like for instance, this one said money. And it's the picture that's money. So I can go and I can grab whatever picture I want, and that makes it no longer money. Okay? So don't get caught up on whether or not they're free, because it's usually the picture you're paying for. So go and put your own picture. And so, like I said, you want to look for something that has, if you decide to go with the magazine one, just know it's going to be a little wide, but you want to find your dog ears. They don't have as many dog ears on this one. Okay, there's one. Free spirit kind of describes you. Okay, and so there you go. You can almost make your workbook as if it was a magazine that somebody was reading, you know? And then, so this part right here can be instructions, and this part right here could be the do, you know? So that's a good one to consider. And then their pages are way too much color. You waste a lot of people's ink. And that's another thing. Be cognizant. Yeah, girl. Be cognizant of people's ink. Like, you know, think about that. So, like, maybe I like this cover, but I want my table of contents to look like this. And I want, no, I don't want to use this. And I want, yeah, magazine seems to fit your personality better because it looks like it has more for you, it offers more to you. The thing is just finding the dog ears, right? So maybe you can give instructions on one page, and then on the next page, create your own page, okay? And so I'm gonna show you how we're gonna create our own page. Gum is nice, but gum is not good for work. Let's see what this page just looked like. Oh, this is cool. So what if like this was like something that had steps or something? Yeah, replace that content. What happened? Ah, you replaced that one. That's not the one I wanted replaced. But anyway, I wanted this one replaced, but whatever. So instead of using this as a table of contents, which is actually kind of cool, remember what it's going to look like at 100%. Oh, you can't remember because I'm not there yet. Oh yeah, girl, choose what works for you. Okay, so say they have different steps to do, right? On one particular thing. So you can actually turn this into one particular thing, like maybe like find a space to meditate, and then you have certain things they need to do under the find your space type of thing. Like maybe a checklist or something like that, or like what are your likes, what are your favorite smells, what type of music you like to listen to, what kind of lighting works best for you, like those kinds of things for them to fill out and to create their space. If you know what I'm saying, like play, like that's the best advice I could give you, is to play with Canva and find what works for you. Just brand it all with your colors. Oh, okay. So the more you scroll, the more you have dog ears, the more you'll be able to find something that works for you. More dog ear type of things. This one looks like it should be more fun. Oh, that's the one that we just did. Nomadic. That almost describes you too. No. Yeah, so like I said, it doesn't matter if it costs. Go grab it anyway. That could work too in creating something for steps. That could totally work. So like we grab that one, and the space where there's a picture, you can actually turn that into a writing space. You know, you got different ways you can play with it. All right, and so when you get here to the building, that's why I'm telling you, look through the different ones, because you're going to find something that works for you, honestly, and mix up the different pages. See, I already have all this in this document, girl. And then if you don't find something, you're going to build your own, right? So I suggest you look through Elements tab. So let's look at that real quick. And then, where is it? Where am I building? Okay. So say I don't like, let's go with this page. So say I do like some elements of this page, but I don't like them all, then I can create what I do like. So say this is the instruction, and I don't want this image here, so I'm going to delete the image. I can replace the image. That's what that template is about, is like just grabbing. I'm pretty sure you've already learned this as you played, but you can just grab, and then when you have that little picture template, it fills in how it fills in. Or if you don't want a template, you can go ahead and delete the elements. And like I said, go get you a little square, play with your squares, and then fit your square there. All right, and so you go get your square. This is where they're going to do their work. So turn it light. And then, boom, they do their work right there. If you want them to have lines on it, go get you a text line. It doesn't matter which size you go for, because we're just going to do this. But I guess size does matter, because that was too big. Let's go with a different one. Should allow me to do this without dots. What text did I use? I think what I used was Open Sans. So let me see. Yeah, because I don't like the dots. So let me grab that. All right. So we're not going to make this centered. We're going to make it left justified. Okay. Awesome. I'm glad it's helping. Okay. And so going over here, hold on, don't go that far. Go down. Wait. They should have been stuck. Oh, I'm not supposed to be paying attention to that. Hold on. Because I can fix the box later. So let's just go ahead and do some more lines. Fix the box in just a second. All right, so let's see what that does. So now, this is what I mean by fix the box. It's just come in, pull it in. Where are we? Where are we? Okay, so I got more lines to go. That's, again, this is if you want the lines. You don't have to have the lines. You can just leave the box as if this is where they're going. Okay, and so you can create that there. Because, like I said, if you know what kind of learner you are, then keep in mind what kind of learner your people probably are going to be. But at the same time, you do need to hit all the other ones. And so these pictures can be whatever you want them to be. If they could be a step 1, step 2, step 3. Now this is, I might not want that. I might want something else. So I trash it and then I go get something else. Like I just might want a regular clip art of that, or I might want me, like if you have a branded picture, I might want me pointing to something. So let me get rid of this. That deletes just an image. So let's go ahead and delete that. And let's go find me. I'm right there. I'm choosing my transparent because my non-transparents are all going to be white. So I like this. Let's flip it to that. It's never my good side. Okay. And then put that in. And so, you know, because you do want to brand your stuff, pop yourself on there. Boom. Hi, I'm there. Or wherever. Probably down here or something. You know, and then maybe put a page number or something. And just to keep it going and whatever. And this could be like the end of your page. So you bio yourself or what have you. I've heard of people doing the bios of themselves at the end of their workbooks, especially if they're like free things like challenges. You might want to bio yourself and then at the end give an invitation to them to come and you might give an invitation for them to come and join you further or some other kind of connection and things. And so, like I said, just build your own and play with it. I think one more thing to touch on is like if I wanted to put a picture, and I don't know if you play with it, but they do have a lot of good elements. It's under grid, no, frame. It's under frame. So, you know, some people have those funky things, which are pretty cool. But like, for instance, here's an iPhone. So you might want to give them your text number or something, like some kind of instruction, text you or whatever. And then, you know, throw yourself into the element. Bam! Isn't that cool? I like that element, actually. I like that cell phone. Another element that I like to use is the laptop one. So maybe there's a picture of something that you want to take place. Obviously, your background would need to be darker because the bottom keys are lighter. And so maybe there is something on screen, like I might want them to think about a cruise or whatever. And then, boom, it's like looking at a laptop screen. So those are cool elements that I like to use. They have an iPad. And so you can put your face in different ones saying that I'm all over, you know, so they have an iPad, they have shapes, they have, oh, this is cool. I haven't played with this one. Let's play. Okay. So it looked like a road here, but it's not. It's just something. And, you know, you just fill in their things. I think I'm going to play with this one. My YouTube page has these circles. And notice this one is my brand color. So my YouTube actually has me 3 different ways. No, I don't want you. Go to back. And so I might do this on my cruise advertising page. Imagine yourself here. Imagine yourself there. And so the circles, and they're nice and neat, and then you get to make them as, you know, whatever size you want to do. So the elements are fun. And like I said, you can play with them in building your own thing. Let me show you something really cool with that one. And then you have all these shapes and stuff. And all this stuff is free. So use it. Matter of fact, this is exactly what I was about to show you. So something like this on a page that you build, you know, and maybe there's something you want people to do, like maybe I want to talk about M3Z, you know, and then I can have the conversation on the other side. The good thing about it is you can brand it. I love to find the color box because that means I can brand it if it has a color box. And so you just stick it wherever you want to. Oh, hold on. I should actually be on this page. Yes. Okay. And see, that doesn't work because that's a white background. White background page. White background page. White background page. Sorry. So what do I have? This is a cool picture. I don't know why I have it, but hey, it's cool. It's rainbow. Okay, so again, that could be something. So it could be like, find the colors of you, and then you give them the picture, and then you're gonna give them writing space over here. And don't forget to put your header footer blocks because those are amazing gold. Okay, change my text, please. Change my text. There we go. All right, so like I said, it's do whatever you need to do. And so whatever was in that picture that you have, that you choose for whatever you want to do then, just real quick note, once you adjust that box, you never have to adjust it again for those lines. And so there you go. And then there you go. So this could be an action they have to take, and then they write it out, you know, and then you just keep going. So maybe this would be another one they have to do. I'm just gonna cheat a little bit and not make up anything new. And maybe that is the same thing. And then grab it. I like to use their purple lines. Okay, and then maybe the bottom is the same thing. And I'm gonna show you the page in just a second when I'm done. And then, so we go over here. And now when you're actually working on your pages, reduce your size so that you can actually see what you're doing. And so let's copy and grab here. And like I said, don't forget like your header footer, because again, you want to make sure that you have some space for your, what am I saying? For your information, like your headings and your, like you can go grab the square, but I also like to cheat and do the line because they have this thick line now. So make sure you click on your page because whatever you click on is going to disappear. I don't even know where it went. Okay, and again, because it's branded colors, and then I just stretch it across. And then obviously I have to do some adjustments. So adjust. Let's leave that. And if you're a perfectionist, then obviously you make the, like we do things in, what I call it, we do it in excellence. So whatever you do, please do in excellence. Respect your people, respect your audience. I am a big proponent of that, is that you do not shortcut where you don't need to shortcut, okay? And so, you know, doing that, and it looks a little bit more professional to have it like that. You can thin out the line down here because all you're gonna need to put is your copyright or your website, whichever one you're doing in this particular one. And let's say you are doing a heading. Let me just use one of these because I don't want to change the font again. So let's say you're doing a heading. And this is my heading. Okay? And so, like I said, I like this. I like to box it, make it capital. Yeah, I'm a perfectionist too, sweetheart. Believe me, I am. And that's why, like, if you have seen the video of my first training on this, that first page, the one with the hammer and stuff, it bothered me until I got it where I wanted it. Like, it bothered me so much. So I'll build something, keep going back to it. Build something, keep going back to it. And then, like I said, your header should be your script. So let me go grab my Lemon Tuesday because I like that script the most. Grab a Lemon Tuesday. Bam, this is my heading. Oh, if I'm going to do Lemon Tuesday, then I can't do capital. Yeah, that looks ridiculous. Okay. Make it a little bit bigger. Stretch it out. And then, like I said, from here, you're like, oh my God, nobody can read that, right? It looks like nobody can read it. So what do you got to do? Go to 100%. Make sure that your page is something that people can actually read. So when you big it up, when you make it larger, this is 100%. So this is what will be on their paper when they get it, is this. And another tip that nobody really talks about, but another tip is when you struggle moving something, because like when it's really, really small, sometimes it's really hard to move like a text or a picture because it has like a preset amount that it's going to move. Make the page larger and then you can move it more minutely. Like, see these little movements I'm doing? I can do that because it's larger. But when it's small, let's see if this will do what I'm trying to tell you it does. So say you're working in 32%. So when I go to move it, you see that was kind of a big move. And so the G touches the bottom, right? And so if I make it larger, I can make a smaller move so that I can get the G off. Not too small. I gotta make that a smaller font anyway, because that is a little large. So I guess we'll go with 28. But anyway, so there you go. Or instead of making the font smaller, maybe I want the font to stay large, make the header larger, and then I can put my font back where I want it to be. Okay, and then follow the guidelines. So there it is, dead center in the box and dead center on the page. Hey Siri. I didn't say hey Siri. Oh my gosh. That's so funny. Siri came on because she thought I called her. That was funny. That was kind of funny. Okay, so yeah, if you increase the size of the page, you get to make the smaller movements. It's a weird thing. I discovered it one day. I was like, okay, so that's the tool. You do, like I said, you do have some cheating things, like you can make the header bigger or what have you, but that is the thing. And so as you see, Tori, that's a workbook page, right? And so you can have your instructions before that, and you can have your action after, depending on what you want people to do. And or, you know, as we built on the other page, you can have the action next to your images or next to your directions, or whatever it is that you choose to do. You heard her, right? She was like, hey, what do you want, Shaniqua? All right, so pull from the different templates that you want. The only thing is you can't get out of that major template. Like if you're in a magazine, you can't go to ebook. But under magazine, you could pull whatever template you want, and sky's the limit as far as that. And if they don't have it, as you just saw, you can build it. You can build what you want. And so that's where the playing comes into play, is that you get to play with it how you want to do it. You know, like this would be a cool page to play with. I don't know. I like circles. I like round things. Like that's my big thing. I'm glad you feel better. Yay. That's awesome. That's really awesome. What, boy? But anyway. Huh? Shut up. Okay. So, you got any other questions, Tori? Because I think I covered almost everything, I'm pretty sure. Just the last part is make sure that you edit. And so the best way to edit is to download it. And and when you download it, because as you saw, like, shoot, I keep forgetting to put edit and publish. And it's like, wait, why does it say, hold on. Why does it say edit and publish? It's supposed to say build and edit. Oh, that's the last part. Okay. So, so in this part, like I went and grabbed, oh, I meant to tell you. So this is how I built this one. I knew I started somewhere, is that I took the Post-it. The Post-it was one that I could brand. So I branded it. And then I just kept that going throughout the whole workbook, is doing the same exact thing, is the same exact type of pages. And so you'll see that in every instruction or every do thing was the same exact type of pages, same exact pages. So if anybody wants to grab this workbook, if you're with me and stuff and you want to grab this workbook, let me go ahead and tell you what that bit.ly is real quick. You can use this and grab this as an example for you to work from. So it is build workbook. Ha, how simple. So bit.ly, build workbook, capital B, capital W. I'll put that down here in the comments if you just want to grab the workbook.